about, or whatever you need. But to start, we'll go ahead and find a seat. Doesn't matter ever what you do with your legs, mostly as long as your lower back is as comfortable as you can make it seated. If it's not, feel free to lie down and get as comfortable as you wish. Allowing our eyes to close. You might wiggle the shoulders back, move the head a little from side to side. Just kind of notice as you prepare to come into this space where you're at this morning, if body is ready to find this stillness, or if mind is ready. Many times when we have become still, the body and the mind are not super pleased with it right at first. Just habitual patterns of us always going, the brain always thinking. We notice breath. Perhaps you choose to lengthen the breath, just so that your inhale is very purposeful and allows your belly to expand. And your exhale, of course, will let the belly deflate, just letting every little bit of air out before you take that next breath in. As your breath moves very purposefully in and out, let the exhale soften your face. Let it soften your shoulders. Feel your sits bones connected to your mat or to your floor. Maybe you imagine they're reaching even deeper than the physical structure that you're in. Maybe you imagine that they're reaching down through the ground, like deep down into the earth. And let the pelvic floor soften, let the hips soften. Almost as though your legs could relax a little bit more. And just feel yourself more fully coming into your space. Whatever else you have going on today, just moves to the side for this hour. Allowing this hour for you to be an hour in which you fill your own self, fill your own cup per se. Place where you recharge. You might ask yourself, how is it that you do get recharged? Is it through the movement? Is it through stillness? Some of us, it's music. Some of us, it's through connection. With an inhale, we'll bring our palms together, tuck the thumbs at the heart. Bow the chin towards the chest if you wish. Perhaps you're seeing in your mind's eye that way in which you recharge. We'll bring our thumbs to the forehead, that spot right between the eyebrows. Take a breath in and use the exhale to bring the hands back to the heart. Let's weave our fingers together. Bring the hands up to the base of the head. Let the chin tuck to the chest and let the elbows come all the way down and together. Just letting your head hang heavy. Back of your neck lengthen, the shoulders soften. With an inhale, you'll lift your head up and open your elbows. Exhaling, chin tucks down, elbows move together. Inhaling to lift the head, open the throat, slide the elbows way apart. Exhaling, tuck it down. Keep going, just back and forth. Letting that head and shoulders and neck move. Good. Next time your chin is at your chest, you'll pause. Unwind your hands, bring your hands back to your lap. Keep the chin tucked to the chest and let the head just hang heavy. With an inhale, you'll roll the right ear up and over to the right shoulder. Exhaling, chin rolls down to the chest. Inhaling, left ear rolls up and over to left shoulder. Exhaling, chin rolls to the chest. Back to the right, from side to side. Attending to whatever that neck is needing this morning. Sometimes it just needs movement. Sometimes it needs a pause one way or the other. Good. Next time chin is at the chest, we'll pause again. Bring our hands to the knees if they're not. Bring the head to center, and let's take the torso over the right knee, between the legs, over the left, back and around to the right. Just moving it side to side, circling. Maybe your shoulders soften. And notice the difference when your body moves slow in these circles and when it moves faster. And then choose, of course, what you think serves your body better this morning. Good. Let's take it other direction and do the same thing. Play with it, whether it's slow or fast. The shoulders soft. Notice lower back as you circle. We'll do just one more circle. And then we'll pause. If you need to shift the legs, like bring the back one to the front or front one to the back, go ahead and just adjust. And then we want to roll the shoulders back, bring the hands behind us and just plant them, I don't know, maybe they're 6 or 8 inches behind your hips, but you're using that, my fingers are pointing back. You're using that as a means to roll those shoulder blades like back and down, and then pull them together as you open the throat a little bit, and let that really open the chest or the collarbone. Maybe your heart can lift. Good, go ahead and release. Come back down, come to center. And let's take a hinge with the hips so you're up nice and tall. You're hinging forward. Your hands can come down in front of you on the ground if you wish. But let's maintain our flat back, at least for now, so the belly is engaged. And your hands can help you push the butt like back down and into the ground. As you're pushing the butt back and down into the ground, imagine that you can soften your pelvic floor, like release your hips basically. Nice. You're gonna tuck the chin then. If you wish, the back body can bend. And this time it's as though, I suppose your forehead, it's pointing towards the ground. I wouldn't really like be reaching with it just so you're not yanking on your neck. But you've got that bend in the back and all the muscles along either side of the spine have to lengthen to allow this. Good, bring it back to a flat back. And then walk your hands, your arms, your torso over that right knee a bit. And you can always use your hands to push into the earth, like you're twisting. And maybe you're sitting upright, maybe you're hinged, whichever way you wish to be is good. Good, take a breath in, then exhale, come back to the middle. Take a breath in at the middle, exhale, move to the left. And same thing, you've got like that flat back, so your belly button, your solar plexus are tucked in. Breath in, brings you back. Then unhinge those hips. And let's straighten out our legs. Maybe we even bounce them out a little from sitting or do a little windshield wiper, hands behind you again, and make it a rock back and forth a bit. Awesome. And then back to our it'd be staff position, I guess, our legs straight, we're back on our butts. We want to just bring that right leg up and over the left. Use your knee as your hook to just hold you up. Roll the shoulders back and down, pull the toes of that left foot in towards the shin. And then I'd invite you to just close your eyes even. And as you hug your leg in towards you, your bent leg in towards you, imagine that that hip, that right hip will soften. Nice, we're gonna keep left hand put, bring the right hand behind your right hip. Your shoulders will twist towards the right, and they don't have to twist far, just even a baby twist. Both the shoulders will roll back and down. Maybe your head turns to the right. Remember, your spine isn't really very warm yet, and so just real gentle twists. We can come back later and twist a little deeper if we want. Take a breath in. With your exhale, you'll untwist. You'll use your hands to grab that right leg. Maybe the left hand gets the foot, right hand gets the knee, and you just rock a little back and forth. Nice. We'll straighten that leg, bring the left one up and over. And same thing, first part of this is just letting it hold you up. But as it holds you up, you're softening that left hip, like letting everything just almost like melt down into the earth. Maybe your eyes are closed. Lovely. When you're ready to twist, you'll keep the right hand put. Left hand will move around behind that hip. Take a breath in and use your exhale to twist. Your shoulders really are the only things twisting, unless you wish to add the head or the neck. Even so, it's a gentle twist, letting our spine like move into this rather than just cranking into it. Good, breath in. Breath out is gonna bring you back. We've got our leg, maybe your right hand grabs the foot, left hand has the knee, and we rock, move that thigh bone around a bit. Good, dropping that leg, then ensure that you're pretty far forward on your mat. We're gonna get hands up, almost like we're going to boat. So belly's engaged, you've got your belly button and your solar plexus. Let's come down like halfway. Almost, it is like a boat, but your feet are on the ground. And you're just using that core, making yourself be held up. Good, come down a little bit more, hold it. And down a little bit more, hold it. We're eventually going all the way down. Okay, let's come all the way down. And then bring that right knee all the way in. Let the hands grab the knee, hug it in. You'll let the right foot come down, pull the left one in, hug it to you. Awesome, both feet down. I would say about hip distance apart. Let's just let our knees, it's like the windshield wiper a little bit, but they don't fall all the way over. I think Linda Rebish taught us that if we bring like our feet together and our knees together, like all the way together, then it really prevents us from twisting very deeply, and it's really nice for the lower back. Remember, if that lower back is sore, it's usually because everything is tight. And when it's tight, while we might think that stretching is the best thing that we can do, very often it's actually releasing that's the best thing that we can do. And so we're just releasing here a little bit. Almost like the ground pushing into those muscles acts to massage it. Good, do just another breath or two. And then we'll pause back in the middle. Bring that right knee in again, hands to the knee. This time, straighten your left leg, lift your shoulders and your head up, like you're drawing your forehead towards your knee. And that's pushing your lower back into the ground. I'm sure you can probably feel that. If you want to work the core, you'd extend the arms, make your core hold your torso up like this. And then you can pull both your toes towards your shins and even pick up that left leg and hover it if you wish to engage even more. Nice. Hands back to your knee. If your left leg is up, bring it to the earth. The shoulders and the head come back down. You're just hugging that knee into you. We'll take a breath in. Use our exhale to drop that foot to the earth. Both knees will bend, and you'll pull left knee in. Giving it a squeeze in. This time we straighten the right leg. Engage the core so we can get the shoulders and the head up, like we're pulling the forehead towards that knee. If we wish, arms lengthen. Maybe even a right leg lifts and hovers so that you've got your core working like mad. Nice. Don't forget to breathe. Your hands will come back to your knee, your leg to the earth, your shoulders and your head to the earth. Give your leg a hug in while you take a breath in. Exhaling both feet to the earth. Both knees bend. Let's shift the knees to the left so we can just roll over on to the right side, or to the left side, sorry. And left arm might just come right underneath your head. And we're gonna bring your right arm straight up to the ceiling. And so it's right out from the shoulder. And if you play with it a little bit, there's this place with that arm extended straight up that is like, it's effortless. It's as though that arm just kind of can hold itself up there. Once you have that place, all you're gonna do is take the arm bone, and I use my palm as kind of my point of reference, and we're turning our palm back behind us, and it's gonna rotate the entire arm bone in the shoulder socket, and then turn the palm towards the front. Turn it the other way, try to make it face behind you as much as it will, and then back to the front. Turn it other way. And all you're gonna do is keep rotating that arm bone in the shoulder socket. And you might notice like little catches, little places where the shoulder kind of limits the mobility for whatever reason. And next time your palm is facing forward, allow the arm to drop down alongside the ear. You'll turn your palm towards the floor. And as you reach through those fingers, let the stretch move through the arm, the shoulder, all the way to that right side body. Awesome. Inhaling, arm to the ceiling. Exhaling, bring it down, weave it behind your back body. You're gonna bring that right leg or foot behind you a little just so it can support you as you roll back to your back. This time your arm is tucked underneath your back. And here it's literally, we're laying on our backs with the arm tucked under us. Our only intention is to soften. Soften the shoulders. You could straighten the legs if that's okay with your lower back. Maybe your eyes close and you feel that breath again. Wednesday, we talked about being able to visualize the different systems in our body in order to feel ourselves like from the inside out. Maybe we can feel our structure from the inside out, especially if we know anatomy. That's a bit easier to visualize. But you might also feel it as energy, that you're feeling your energy move from the inside out and into your body. Soften the shoulders again, soften the face. We need to let our hips again shift towards the right so that our knees can fall to the left. We roll back over onto that left side and weave the arm, get the arm back to the ceiling so it's back at that place where it's effortless. It just holds itself up more or less. Again, you'll rotate that arm bone in the shoulder socket. So maybe you use the palm as your point of reference or the eye of the elbow, and you're turning it all the way one way and all the way the other way. Good. Drop it alongside the ear again, palm down. Maybe you relax into this or you maintain more of an active stretch by just reaching through the fingers, feeling the length all the way through the side body. Nice, top arm back to the ceiling. You can let it come down, just rest on your side. Your legs then need to straighten so that you can find that place on your bottom hip where you have to work a little bit in order to balance. And if that's too much, of course, you could bring that right hand down in front of your chest for like a little kickstand. However, your toes are gonna pull towards your shin. You're gonna engage your core. And with an inhale, you're squeezing your legs together and trying to pick them both up off the ground. And this is gonna work your core. And they're just hovering, maybe they're even an inch, that counts. Maybe they're way high, it doesn't matter. Our intention is just to activate core. Good, keep them lifted. A breath in, a breath out will bring them to the earth. Bend that top knee, roll your top shoulder back, bring that top arm back and see if you can catch your foot or your pants, your toes, whatever you can grab. As the shoulder rolls back and down, you drop that bent knee back to the other and maybe even push through the foot a little bit, letting that shoulder roll back and down more so that your collarbone, your chest is open. Notice what that does to the lower back as well. Nice, breath in, breath out will release your foot. You're rolling to your back body, bending your knee, shifting the hips to the right so you can roll to the left. And your knees can stay bent for now. Maybe your right arm comes under your ear so you've got a pillow. Left arm to the ceiling. Find that spot where it's like effortless to hold that arm up. When you're ready, you're rotating, whether it's the palm or the eye of the elbow that acts as your guide, turning it all the way one way, all the way the other way. Noticing any catches. Sometimes you can literally like hear grinding, and of course, if there's pain, sharp shooting sensation of any kind, you're gonna skip it. And you'll drop the arm alongside the ear, palm is down. You're reaching through that arm, extending all the way through the left side of your torso. Inhaling, arm to the ceiling. Bend your elbow, weave it behind your back. Your top leg reaches back to help you roll back to your back body. Just position hips, legs, how best serves you this morning. Maybe your eyes closed. And you soften into this. You remind yourself of the way in which you get filled up. So often your energy is externally spent. You're paying attention to everything outside of you. Even if it's good stuff, even if it's something that you're really interested in or something that inspires you, maybe something that almost excites your intellectual mind. While that can sometimes be fulfilling, it might also just kind of cost you energy. And this morning you're filling up. Good, we've got just another breath or two. Your hips again might shift a little to the left so your knees can drop to the right. You'll roll yourself back to that right side, unweave the arm, bring it back to the ceiling, and allow that arm bone to spin again in the shoulder socket, rotating forward and backward as far as it allows it to go. Good, arm will drop alongside the ear again. Maybe you're there just relaxed, or maybe you're more actively stretching. Inhaling, arm to the ceiling. Exhaling it down on top of your torso. Straighten your legs. Find that spot on your bottom hip where it's as though you have to work to balance a little bit. Maybe your left hand needs to be your little kickstand out in front of your chest. Squeeze your legs together, pull your toes towards your shin, and with an inhale, those legs lift up off the earth. Again, maybe it's just the tiniest bit. Maybe it's a lot of it. Good. Take a breath in. With your exhale, legs lower. You can bend the knees, roll back to the back body. Bring the arms up alongside the ears, both arms alongside the ears. Move your feet out so they're wider than the hips. And then move your arms out so that you create like a star with yourself. You're gonna stretch diagonally here. So we can stretch through the right fingers, right arm through the right side of your torso, but let it cross over into that left hip and down that left leg, clear to the left toes, and stretch, stretch, stretch. Inhale. With your exhale, relax. Start stretching through the left fingertips, left arm, down through the left torso, but it's gonna cross to the right hip, down through the right leg to the right toes, stretching diagonally. Breath in, breath out relaxes you. Let's do it all then. Still keep that intention of diagonally. So out through the right fingers, left toes, left fingers, right toes. Stretch like crazy. Breath in, breath out relaxes you. Bending your knees. Feet are hip distance apart. Maybe you have to retuck your tailbone a little or shift your hips so your lower back is more comfortably connected to the earth. We're going to engage our core. We can bring our arms down beside us if we want, but engage the core so you can get the shoulders and the head up. And we're going to try to sit up from here. So if you can use your core to pull up, if not, grab your legs and let your legs like rock you up. But we're moving right on up to a seated position. Awesome. Once there, kick your feet to the side. Let's move around onto all fours. Knees under our hips, hands under our shoulders. Belly engaged, of course. This is a really important place to keep your belly engaged because otherwise it's like everything is just like hanging, and gravity is gonna compress the lower back because it's gonna let everything sink. So core is engaged. Take your breath in. With your exhale, tuck your tailbone, tuck your chin, let your back body arch for your cat. Inhaling forward to your cow. Exhaling back to your cat. Inhaling forward to your cow, go back and forth. Totally up to you as to how fast you go. Just ensure that your breath guides your movement. When I was first kind of practicing or learning yoga, I really had to make myself breathe and then move so that I could understand that my breath was initiating or guiding that movement. Good, come back to neutral, tuck those toes. You're still engaged. A breath in, a breath out will lift your knees and your hips up and back to your down dog. Your feet can pedal if you wish. Hips could wiggle. Nice big breaths in and out. Notice that your head is just hanging. Your neck is relaxed. Awesome. Hands then. Welcome back to your feet. Roll to the soles of those feet. Heels connected, chin tucked in. We're in our forward fold. Your head just hangs so that your top body, your whole torso is soft. With an inhale, you'll slide halfway up, flat back. Exhale, fold. Chin tucked in. Let's grab opposite elbows if we're not, just so that we can invite the shoulders to relax a little bit more. Notice your hips, notice your lower back here. I know you know this, but just a reminder, if your knees are bent enough that your belly is resting on your thighs, that's going to support and really protect that lower back. If you can straighten the legs and keep your belly connected to your thighs, awesome. Most of us can't. All right, so drop the arms. Your core is engaged. Rolling up vertebra by vertebra with an inhale. The last thing that will come up is your head. As it comes up, your shoulders will roll back and down. Awesome. Feet are underneath our hips. Let's shift our weight all the way into that right foot so that we can lift our left leg up off the ground. And once it's up, truly your toes can stay connected if you're feeling kind of unbalanced this morning, but once it's up, you're gonna pull your toes towards your shin and get that leg really active. Maybe your hands are on your hips and you're just feeling that your hips are level. Good. Pull that knee up a little bit more. Your belly's engaged, like belly is picking that knee up for you. Awesome. You're going to take a giant step forward with this up leg, planting that foot. You're on the toes of the back foot. Good deal. Roll those shoulders back. Lift that back thigh high. If you want, arms can lift up. Eek. And it's hard to balance. Take a breath in. With your exhale, you'll turn that back foot and plant it. Turn your torso. Arms come down. We'll meet in warrior two. In warrior two, let your torso reach forward. Let it reach back. So from right to left, you're just shifting the weight of the torso. Almost like the torso is rocking from side to side on top of those hips, because your hips are staying steady. Good, you'll bend your front elbow, your left elbow, bring it to that left knee. Right arm to the ceiling, down alongside your ear, palm faces down. And notice that left knee. Most of the time it wants to sneak towards the middle of your mat. You're gonna push it so it's in line with your toes. And I use my elbow literally to push it. Top arm to the ceiling. Exhale, hand to the hip. Using an inhale, get that torso back up. Your arms back out to warrior two. Your torso will shift side to side. Your hips stay steady. Good, bringing that back arm forward. It's gonna rotate your torso. Arms lift up and you're in your warrior one. We need to get our front foot back. And so some of us, we might heel toe the feet together and then just come, like walk to the back of our mats. Others will roll back to the toes of the back foot, shift your weight to that back foot and hop, or bring your front foot back. Your arms will drop down. Awesome. Feet under your hips. All the weight into that left foot. Inhaling, right knee lifts. Remember, toes can stay down if you're not feeling safe. Inhaling to lift that knee a bit higher, toes towards the shin, your hips are nice and level. With an inhale, take that giant step forward. Be careful, it's tricky to balance. Awesome, you're on the toes of that back foot. Back thigh high. With an inhale, arms are up. Nice, bend the front knee a little more. Find that high lunge. Breath in, breath out, turns your back foot, plants it, turns your torso, drops your arms so they're out from the shoulders. And we're in warrior two. In warrior two, then we let the torso reach towards the right, towards the left, back and forth like you're rocking your torso on top of those hips. Pausing in warrior two, bend your right elbow, bring it to the knee, top arm to the ceiling, and then alongside our ear. Nice, your neck is comfortable, maybe you need to wiggle it a little. As you wiggle it, check out that front knee, ensure that it's in line with those toes. Inhaling, top arm to the ceiling. Exhale, the hand to the hip. Use your inhale, torso up. Inhale, arms back out to your warrior two. Rock that torso. Let those hips and that spine, let them be like two different things. Let there be mobility. movement, freedom. Pausing in warrior two, inhaling, back arm moves forward. Inhale, arms up, you're in your warrior one. Remember, we're coming back to the back of our mat. So some of us heel toe our feet together and step back. Others roll to the toes of the back foot. We shift the weight back and we pop that back or that front foot back and drop the arms. Awesome. Feet right under our hips. Bend your knees like you're coming to chair and put all the weight into your heels. Your shoulders could roll back. You can bring the arms down and like behind you, back to that collarbone or the chest. And as you lift those arms back up behind you, your collarbone broadens. Good, we're coming all the way down to forward fold. Drop your arms down, tuck your chin, and let that torso hang. Imagine yourself being filled up. A place where your energy, it maybe even comes back into you. You collect all that's yours. Fill up. Inhaling to come halfway, flat back. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees enough you can plant the hands. Walk the hands back out to your down dog. Ears between those upper arms. Maybe feet pedal. Maybe they don't. Either way, hips are high, hips are back. You'll take a breath in. Use your exhale to bring your knees back to the earth. Untuck your toes. Send your butt back towards your heels, your forehead towards the earth, and find your child's pose. Check in with that physical body. Notice if there's anything yet it needs to do, movements it's asking for. I certainly invite you to listen if there's something yet that your body wants. Move in whatever way you wish. If you're staying in child's pose, soften the shoulders, relax the neck. Good, one more breath. If your arms are wrapped around your legs, you're gonna bring them forward. Inhaling, we'll come to tabletop. And we've got just one more thing to do before we move to releases. So it'll be both core and back oriented. We wanna step forward with a hand so that we can come into what is our low plank. And remember, your belly stays engaged here. Belly button and solar plexus tuck in, and then it's like our shoulders don't have to do so much work. All right, so maybe before we do anything, rotate your arm bones. Use the eyes of your elbows, like turn them forward and then turn them so they face each other. Turn them forward till they face each other, and then make them face each other. And know that when we're in plank, this is truly the way that we protect the shoulders with the arms. Awesome. Let's then see what happens if, with the core engaged, we let our thighs try to drop towards the earth. Let your hips drop towards the earth. Bend your elbows as needed, but your hips are coming down, your belly is coming down, and your chest is coming down, all the way down so you can plant the forehead as well. Your elbows are tucked right in beside your ribs. Inhaling, lift your head up. Core is engaged. It'll help you get your chest up. Your arms are gonna help move your ribs up, your belly up, your hips up, your thighs up, your back to your knees, but tuck your tailbone, tuck your chin as you come all the way back to child's pose. And obviously your hands just walk along the way. All the way down, forehead resting either on your hands or the earth. Back to that soft space of child's pose. Good, we're gonna do that. Let's do it 2 more times, connected with our breath. So if arms are wrapped, bring them forward. You're gonna inhale to your low plank. Exhaling to drop the thighs, the hips, knee or elbows bend as needed, down through the chest, all the way to the forehead. Take a breath. Inhaling, chest and head come up through the ribs, the belly, the hips, clear back to the knees, tuck the tailbone, the chin. Exhaling as you come back to your child's pose. 2 breaths. Inhaling up to tabletop, rolling over the knees. Exhaling as you let the thighs, the hips, the belly, the ribs, the chest, the forehead to the earth for a breath. Inhaling, head and chest, belly, ribs, all the way up. Tuck the tailbone, tuck the chin as you rock it back, all the way back to child's pose. Next inhale, move to tabletop. Crawl forward on your mat. You'll swing the feet to the side so that you can meet on the butt. Once there, you're just gonna use the arms, the hands to help you move towards the earth. And of course, if you wanna work, don't use the arms, the hands. Put your arms out like you're moving through a boat and slowly come to the ground. Once you're on the ground, your knees are bent. They're hip distance apart. The lower back is connected. So for some of us, we literally take our hands and we scooch the butt towards the heels a little bit. Once you've got that, you're gonna gently tuck the tailbone between the legs and then rock the tailbone back and down into the ground. Tuck between the legs, rock it down, go back and forth. You're just rotating your pelvis, letting the ground push into those muscles. Good, pause. Your right hip is gonna move off the earth, maybe an inch, and rock back to the ground. Left hip rocks up, rocks down, side to side. And as little bit of muscle engagement as possible. Like your knees shifting from side to side. It's almost like the momentum or the gravity is what rocks those hips. You might push through the heels to help out a little, but as soft as you can be on your hips and your lower back. Nice. So if you want to rock the pelvis again, front to back, you can go back to that for a few. We'll pause then in the middle. We want to do hip hikers now. We've done the pelvis, we've rocked the hips. The hikers are the one where you slide the right hip up towards the right shoulder a little, and then you slide it down. Left hip slides up towards the shoulder and slides down. And same thing, there's as little muscle engagement as possible. If you push through your heel to slide the hip, that helps you stay soft in the hip area. Notice how the earth pushes into those muscles, lower back, across the hips. You want that ground to massage your body for you. We'll pause in the middle. Last part of the sequence is to let your knees drop all the way to the right. Then your top knee is going to be the leader. It's going to move towards the ceiling, out and over to the left. It catches the bottom leg and both land to the left. Top knee is your leader. Legs open, bottom leg catches, and they're both to the right. And you keep going side to side at your own pace. Your feet stay on the ground the whole time. Maybe it'd feel good to stay on one side or another for a breath or two. Notice shoulders as you're here, they're soft. One more time each side. You'll bring your knees back to the middle. Heel toe your feet out towards the edge of your mat so your knees drop towards each other. Maybe you bring the hands to the crest of the hip. Sometimes just the weight of the hands is nice and the warmth of them. Other times a little pressure, even a gentle massage. Remember, when the front of our hip flexors, when they're tight, they're going to be pulling on the muscles of the back of the hips, which they pull on the lower back. Good, you'll heel toe your feet all the way together and let the knees drop out and open. And same thing, hands just resting or massaging if you wish. Next inhale, bring your knees back up to the middle, your feet back so that they're hip distance apart. You'll inhale to pull your right knee in towards your torso, hands to the knee. Maybe you just squeeze that knee to you, or maybe you rock it a little side to side. Even circling the knee feels good. Switching, doing the other leg. Any last release that your body might need. Maybe it's happy baby. Maybe it's a figure four, so like the right ankle would come to the left knee. If you want, you pick the left leg up. Other times we just stay here and rock the hips. And just a couple more breaths. Make sure you do both sides if you're doing figure four. When you're ready to stretch out those legs, they'll lengthen all the way out. And they'll land so that they're at least as wide as the hips. And sometimes the lower back doesn't feel good here. And so I would invite you at that point to bend your knees again. Otherwise, you might reach for the heels just a little bit more and then roll those feet out, relax the legs. I even flop my legs side to side, just so I'm encouraging my hips to release. Your arms down beside you somewhere or resting on your belly. And of course, eyes closed. And we're here for the last bit of our time in this place of rest. This place where body is only relaxing. We're feeling the softness of your face, softness of the back of your head. Softness in your neck and in your shoulders. Down into your collarbone or your chest. Softness in your belly. As your belly is relaxed, you can feel the ground cradling or holding your spine. Allow your back body to relax into that. You might soften the butt, let the hips release. Let the thighs, front and back of the thighs relax. Clear down knees and calves. Clear down to those feet. Your body soft. Maybe your breath is soft. And you're allowing yourself to be filled up. Very often people rest here with their palms up. Actually, a position in which you're inviting energy to come into you. It can come in through the palms of your hands. It can come in through the soles of your feet. In through the top of the head. But imagine it coming into you. Filling you all the way up, like right to the tippy top of that cup. Maybe even letting it go over. It's that full. And wherever you get that energy from, again, it could be that you're getting it from nature. You're getting it from your loved ones. You're getting it from some connection that you have with something greater than yourself. But fill up. Just like you're at a gas pump. You're filling your car up. Maybe it automatically turns off when the pump assumes it's full and you choose to squeeze the trigger and add just that tiny bit more. I think B is filled up. Good, when you're full, wiggle those fingers, wiggle your toes, roll your ankles, roll your wrists. Maybe your head turns a bit side to side. The knees will bend and you'll shift your hips from one side to the other, just so that the knees can gently fall to the side. And of course, that rolls your body to the side. A breath or two there, feeling your filled body, filled mind, filled soul. And using hands and arms to push yourself back up. Push to a comfortable seat. Eyes closed once you're there. And inhale, we'll bring our palms together. Tuck the thumbs in at heart. Chin bowed towards the chest. And always an opportunity for gratitude or for almost for like a prayer. And I don't mean it in a religious way, but a prayer that sets an intention. This morning, it might be something along the lines of remembering to fill up and to fill up as much and as often as needed, so that really you stay fairly full. The spirit or the energy in me, it honors the spirit in you. Namaste.